So you think the housing shortage is over? May 2025 state by state inventory data is going to tell a different story. You want to discover exactly which markets are seeing a flood of inventory and which ones are still struggling to reach 2019 levels? I'm going to walk through all of that. My name is Eric Hamilton. I am a top 1% lender in the country. I am what they call a data driven mortgage advisor. I want to study data to help my buyers and sellers make informed decisions to look back and not regret anything later. So I'm going to break down some numbers at inventory levels that just came out because I think it's going to give you some information to know and understand what might happen with home prices in your particular market. So let's start and go through where we're at right now. So first and foremost, the chart that you're looking at is just active housing inventory. So these are homes that are not under contract nationally. Okay, and I have that red line in there because that's showing where we were in 2019 and where we are in 2025. So inventory is higher nationally. Okay, and that is not news. We've been seeing that year over year. You can see last year it was steadily increasing. This year it's increasing. And that is really good news, okay? Because when we were at the depressed levels of inventory in 2020 and 2021, that caused home prices to move up at a really aggressive pace. But the reality is that we're still below where we were in 2019. And I remember 2019, the end of 2019, going to 2020, just prior to the pandemic, market was on solid footing. Everyone was excited about the housing market. It had been in the best place it's been in a really long time. And nobody was talking about home prices going down. If anything, we felt confident that the housing market was going to be one of the best markets that we were going to experience in quite some time. Now, what happened is COVID happened and it pushed a lot of the sales that would have occurred later forward. Okay. I don't necessarily think a lot of them wouldn't have happened at some point, but it just pulled them forward. Okay. Then we had this period where we're trying to recover. So we are just getting back to where we were in 2019 as a national level. And I think that's important to note. Now, when we break down, state by state, okay, we look at this is 1 year change in active housing inventory. And this is a shift between May of last year and the May of this year, okay, which is great. You see how this green where inventory is increasing. Again, that is a solid development. We're also seeing more people apply for, I think the last 10 weeks, we've seen an increase in mortgage applications. That's positive news. We have more inventory hitting the market. And I've personally seen a lot of my buyers re-enter the market, get offers accepted. But state by state, it's a very different story. Now, you can see in Florida up 32%. You can see up in Texas up 30%, California 51%, Tennessee up 39%. Okay, this tells a story that's really important in the inventory, picture that we really need to know and understand. Okay, this is the chart that I want to spend some time on. This is active housing inventory for sale compared to pre-pandemic levels. So May 2019 until May 2025. What jumps out at me is Illinois, where my office is. Inventory is down 64% from where we were in 2019. That is significant. We're still seeing multiple offers. We're still seeing people paying over list price. I had a property last weekend. There were close to 20 offers. Sellers don't want to sell for under list price. They're listing higher. Home prices up the first 90 days, almost 5% in Illinois. We're seeing price growth. Okay. Florida, complete opposite. It's up, 26% compared to where we were in 2019. Two totally different markets, two totally different strategies. The problem is in national headlines, media, it all gets lumped into one. And I am seeing buyers and sellers make really bad decisions because they're not knowing and understanding the dynamics of what inventory is today in their market and what may happen in the future. If you're buying a home in Illinois and you say, you know what, I'm hearing all this noise about home prices coming down, you may look back a year or two from now and you could see another 5-7% in growth in the home prices. Now, I'm not cheerleading the market. That's not my job. I'm just giving you the data as it sits today. And you have to understand the catalyst for home prices to go down is excess inventory. Now, in Florida, you have a totally different story. Texas, Nashville, most of the states that you see in green have a very high level concentration of new construction. Builders moved there. They started building. It's one of the reasons why inventory is the way that it is. Now, Florida also has condos, insurance issues, hurricanes. There's a whole nother dynamic there. But it's why real estate is local and not national. You need to, hire your team, talk with a realtor, talk with a data-driven mortgage advisor, and go through some of this data to know and understand how to prepare. Because the worst thing that people can do is think that they're, in Illinois, that home prices are going to go down and end up waiting, and never quite getting to the point where they enter the market. Average first-time homebuyer age is 38. Just think about that. People are waiting long. Average tenure of people living in their house is up around 11 years. That's one of the highest on record. So there's a lot of pent-up seller demand, and the market is going to start to shift at some point. If rates go down, if inventory is 64%, what do you think is going to happen to home prices? They're going to move up a lot. And it's really important to kind of keep an eye on that and make sure that you're mindful of that as you move forward. So this is a great chart to have, to save, take a screenshot, send me a message. I'm more than happy to share it and walk through that. This just gives you a little bit perspective, a lot of data here, but it's good to know. Illinois is down 63.8% in inventory. Okay, really important. Okay, just look at it from a number standpoint, though. In 2019, we had 51,370 homes for sale on the market, not under contract. Right now, and in May of 2025, we averaged 18,605. Just think about that when you look at the numbers. Then you go to Florida, May 2019, 143,000. Now we have 181,000. Break down those states. It really outlines it in a way that helps you better understand how to make an informed decision. Now, this is what I will tell you. Just because this data says what it is and you're in one of these states like Illinois or Florida, doesn't mean you should buy or not buy. That's not what this video is about. This is about understanding inventory to make an informed decision and not go to work or talk to a family member and get, oh my God, there's this housing bubble, home prices are going to crash. You're going to be able to get this great deal. I can't afford this. I can't do this. This is the time when you want to, do as much research and talk to as many people that are intimately involved that you can trust. And there's plenty in our industry in the mortgage and real estate side. You just have to find the right people. And my team and I are always on standby. I have a link in here where you can schedule time with me. I can refer you a great realtor in your market. I can, walk you through. And a lot of times when I have these consultations with buyers, we decide not to move forward, and that is okay. There's nothing better than walking away from a purchase and application and saying, you know what, I better understand what I need to do. I'm comfortable with that decision, and this is what I'm going to do. The worst thing you can do is wait because of some fear and then look back later and regret it because home prices went up and you weren't able to purchase a home that you wanted. So really good opportunity to level set and talk through some of this. So I appreciate watching the video. And if you have any questions, reach out to my team and subscribe. I do videos like this as much as I can throughout the week and would love for you to watch some more of my videos. Thank you.